Welcome, everybody. It is time. Yes, it's our time. Grown folks talking. Yes, only for the grown people, only for the mature, preferably those who are parenting and adulting. Right now, what you're listening to is the saxophonist straight from Greensboro, North Carolina. My friend, Tyson C. from his album, Riding Down Genre Lane, available on CD, baby. Because we're getting grown right here. You know, jazz is a good way to relax. I am your host, Dr. Akila Faye. I'm an artist, I'm an author, I'm a mother, I'm a transformation expert. All in all, I'm a woman of God who is walking in my calling, who loves entertainment, media fun, and most of all, truth, and getting down to those topics and subjects that a lot of us call a little taboo or a little personal, but at the end of the day, it helps us grow, it helps us to be better, it helps us to help others, and really, it helps us with adulting because we're grown, right? You agree as grown people, it's time. It's time, right? I hear you. Yes, it's time that we finally had something for us. Go ahead and send the children to the other room. Go ahead and walk away. Put your headphones in. If you got the children around, please know you can always come back, listen again, download, and share. Grown Folks Talking, live with Dr. Akila Faye. On today's show, we're going to be talking about some real stuff, okay? We're going to get down to, first off, why is it hard for us to talk to each other as parents and as adults? Secondly, some of those funny parent stories. You know, when you do something and you really don't want anyone to know about it. But it was kind of funny because raising children is like being in science class again. You have a hypothesis, you hope it works out, and yeah, you really do hope it works out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but you keep trying and you don't give up on the little people, right? And then getting real serious, we're going to have a special guest, told you, the Fearless Coach Michael Muse. I'm going to tell you more about him when he comes on in a few. And we're going to dive into the role and titles that we have as parents. It's going to be a great conversation. We're going to get some meditation, some relaxation. Every time you join the show, know that. We're going to set the mood. We're going to go ahead and put ourselves in a place where we forget about all the responsibilities that we have outside of ourselves. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, how are we going to parent? How are we going to do the adult life? I see a question. What's parenting and adulting? What parenting is, when you're raising a child, you're raising children, you're stepping in for somebody who may have stepped away, and you're fulfilling that role as a role model, as a guide, as a supporter, as an encourager, as that person, that adult, that stable, consistent figure, particularly in a child's life, a teenager's life, a young adult's life, so that they know they don't have to go through life alone. They don't have to figure it all out by themselves. And they have somebody to come to who's going to give them understanding, unconditional love, and wisdom. And sometimes a hard hand or a hard fist or a hard word, when correction is necessary and you see them doing something that could totally devastate their life, but we understand that because of how young they are, they don't see the long-term picture. That's parenting. Now, adulting, we got people that are big boys and big girls in grown people bodies, but mentally still got the little girl, little boy mentality. Adulting is about taking responsibility for what you have in life, whether that's children that you're taking care of, whether that's a parent or relative you're taking care of, handling your business, having transportation, having somewhere to live, being clean and eating. These are expectations of being an adult. That's part of adulting. and balancing all of that out, right? Without losing your mind. Okay? Without going totally crazy. Which is why we're going to go ahead and start off with a little bit of meditation. Mindfulness stress reduction. One of the easiest, most simplest ways to be mindful of your stress level is to observe yourself in a situation. Now, how do we do that? Easy. Before you open your mouth, before you make a face, before you change your body position, before you make an assumption or conclusion, close your mouth, take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose like this, in as good as you can, and then out. And if you feel yourself really, really shaking in your mouth, down to your belly area, like your belly button right below your sternum, and then back out your nose. Now, the reason you're doing that is because it resets the mind. It resets the body. It resets your physiology, the way everything is flowing within your body. It resets your spirit, and it opens you up to new clarity. So let's go ahead and take 3 deep breaths in. 3 deep breaths of gratitude that we're here together. Because it's good to be seen and it's good to be heard, as the elders that I know always used to say before they passed away. And the ones who are still here say it every day. It's good to be seen and it's good to be heard. Inhale through your mouth down to your belly. Hold it for 3 seconds. Exhale. It's good to be seen. It's good to be heard. Inhale. Hold it for 3 seconds. Exhale. Last time, you're doing good. Let's go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Fantastic. I'm going to give you a round of applause. I'm a teacher, and it's good to applaud yourself, reward yourself, recognize yourself, even for the small things. Because for some of us, that took a lot of effort to sit there and take 3 breaths for a total of 20 seconds. That pause from everything else. But I want you to just think to yourself, how are you feeling now that you took those breaths? While we parenting and adulting, those breaths can save us from a lot of apologies. Those breaths can save us from having to fix a lot of mistakes. Those breaths can save us from beating ourselves up over something we said, did, didn't say, or didn't do in the moment. And it can help our bodies feel so much better and maybe get off all them blood pressure vitamins. You know? Honestly, truth. So we're going to go ahead now, you all. I'm going to bless you with a mantra. This is one of the mantras that I have. It's a power mantra. As a parent, as an adult, I want you to know your power. So while we're already feeling good and we're breathing, you need to keep taking those deep breaths because maybe your day was a little bit more stressful. Keep doing that. And while you're listening to this mantra, take in every word, every sound. You are powerful. Here we go. I love all aspects of me. I love my power. I am powerful. My power is magnified in every aspect of my existence, attracting abundance in health, mentality, wealth, global impact, increased virtue, increased purity, increased discernment, increased spiritual connectivity, and love that extends to generations in all spheres, infinitely in all directions. I love all aspects of me. I love my power. I am powerful. My power is magnified in every aspect of my existence, attracting abundance and health, mentality, wealth, global impact, increased virtue, increased purity, increased discernment, increased spiritual connectivity, and love that extends to generations in all spheres, infinitely in all directions. Infinitely in all directions. We are powerful, we are loved, and we shift every single thing in our lives with every single word, every single action, and every single choice. Starting with self-acceptance and the responsibilities we have as a parent and the acknowledgement that it ain't always easy. It ain't always easy. It's not always easy. No, we know it's not. Now, I'm from North Carolina, born and raised, country girl with suburban upbringings, very acculturated, traveled to 7 different countries. Raising my son, I always say I'm an empress raising a young emperor. Okay? I'm not a single parent, I'm a soul provider because I take care of everything, and I'm a soul provider because I'm feeding into his soul what he needs to grow. Before I bring the guest on and we get into the family circle with the Q&A where I share some questions that different parents and clients I've had have asked, I'm going to give you all a reading. It's so important to read. And this is from a book that I was in, a collaborative book called Live Your Best Life. Your life is the message. Now, the chapters in here are from my section, perversion or training. That's the first part. The second part, training for a purpose. Sometimes the situations we have in our youth plague us as adults, and sometimes those situations when we make the choice, transformation through divine training. Transformation through divine training. That's what I'm going to read to you from. When we decide that those situations arose, that the elders in our life who spoke to us and taught us things, that the friends we had were there to help us to develop into who we are so that we could spread that seed, spread our branches, sow good seeds into soil, being our children, so that they can also multiply and create a bigger forest. It's a beautiful thing. So here we go. And then I'm going to bring on the Fearless Coach. Y'all ready for that? Lovely. All right, here we go. The foundation, my grandparents, Deacon Major Otis Hinton and Deaconess Idell Cromartie Hinton, was the strongest example of a healthy relationship, partnership, and friendship. They also demonstrated and taught me about having character and how to love others. I'm grateful that they were a part of my life. Now, there were times when discipline and correction came into play, but thankfully, it was not often, because I knew better than to be disrespectful or disobedient, for the most part. When those moments arose, I learned quickly that I had to be aware of my choices and the people that I chose to hang around, because it reflected on my character. The foundations that are laid in our lives make an impact on how we face the world. We have the power to recognize the role that each person plays and are in position to accept the lessons that are coming in our direction. In order to do this, we have to be aware of ourselves. I master self-awareness by spending time with myself in specific ways, using strategies, techniques, and meditations that also fostered a stronger relationship with the Creator. As my exploration and understanding of the Creator grew, so did my understanding, acceptance, and knowing of myself. As we learn what love truly is from a divine space inside ourselves, we grow into a stronger being. We become a superhero with humility and compassion because we understand that there's a process to layers of love. Now that excerpt, you all, is about a little bit of the foundation that I had. It's helping me to raise my little emperor. And I'm going to bring on, y'all ready? Y'all ready for it? Yeah. The Fearless Coach Michael Muse, author, radio host on iHeart and Bushani Radio. Are you here, Fearless Coach Michael Muse? I'm doing great. I'm so glad you are here with us. Now, did you join on while we were doing the reading? Awesome. I would love your feedback on that. You are fantastic because you're doing the same thing. You know, we attract what we are. So we definitely on the same vibration. So, brother, as a parent, I was sharing the foundation from the reading about how my grandparents, they taught a lot, but it wasn't necessarily what they said as much as it is what they did. Seeing how they interacted, seeing how they conversed. I mean, a lot of times they could just look at me, I knew what to do because they already showed me every day what was acceptable behavior, what was the right way to communicate, how you showed respect for each other. What about you?
That respect is paramount, and that I was not supposed to be in a conversation. That there was a very big distinction between a conversation with my peers as a child versus a conversation with adults. I was not allowed to be in a room when adults were having a conversation.
I remember that. That goes back to be seen and not heard. And I've been teaching for about 15 years. And I can say a lot of children now, I got called mean. I had a child tell me I was disrespectful. I said, why? They said, cuz you telling us we children. And you saying that we got to know how to respect you. And you saying we can't yell at you and argue at you. And I was like, that is so correct. Because that's disrespectful. And if I'm not doing anything to disrespect you, you definitely don't need to do anything to disrespect me or to cause disruptions or chaos. But for some reason, these were teenagers. For some reason, they had a lot of trouble with understanding that. And then I would meet the parents, and the parents were so laid back. Or they were, I'm not going to say good or bad because I don't believe in good or bad, just different. And like my grandma say, everybody won't train. And I'm going to add, everybody wasn't trained the same way. You know, because they were trained, just not the same way. And
Absolutely.
like, what do you think about that when a kid's like, oh, the mom, the dad come in, oh, we let our child speak when they need to speak. Like, I have my son speak, but he knows to say, excuse me. He knows what's appropriate and what's not, but he knows that he should be honest in what he does. He's a horrible liar because he just doesn't do it. So when he does, it's very obvious. I should say when he tries, when he tries. And he'll always take a deep breath and go, okay, tell the truth, Savon. Tell the truth. I'm like, that's right, baby. Go ahead and remember the mantra. Take that deep breath. That breath come back in. He was like, let me reset myself, mommy, and tell the truth because this lie ain't working. But you got parents who tell their kids, yeah, you say what you want to say to an adult. If you need to fight an adult, you go ahead and fight an adult. You want to cuss at an adult, you cuss at an adult because that's how they interact with each other.
Exactly. And that's the part of that. One of the things, the biggest mistakes parents have made going into this new century is trying to make their children their friends. That's the biggest mistake you can make. My children can never be my friend. I am their father. I am their leader. I am the one who sets the pace of building a legacy for them. I am the one who am a role model to show them how you love your family, you love your wife, how you take care of your community, and how to be your brother's keeper, and how to be in full responsibility of all of the actions that you take. And with children nowadays, they are not taught the consequences of their actions, but instead they have a very deep-seated sense of entitlement. And the sad part about this self-entitlement, it doesn't make a difference if they're rich or poor or middle class. It goes across all economic lines right there. And so when parents allow their children to just speak out and just talk to them and get upset with them, that's the biggest mistake we're making. And think about it. And we are in the generation where this is the first time where kids have actually gotten to the point where when they do not like what you say, they get mad to the point where they will actually try to kill you or do that. And matter of fact, it was a young man who got into it with his grandmother about a puppy. She told him, you could not have a puppy. But he said, well, if I was with so-and-so or my mom or wherever, I could have a puppy. She told him no. That night, he went in her room and shot her in the back of the head because she would not let him have a puppy. So it's a serious breakdown, and parents have forgotten the fact that they are a dictator. You have to lead your home as a dictator because there's no room. When you have to protect your family, when you have to lead your family, it's no different than the military. There has to be a leader because without a leader, that means the rules cannot be enforced. The rules cannot be followed. There has to be a leader to enforce and guide those rules out.
I thank you for that. That was actually with this family circle. One of the questions that has come in is, why can't we be friends with our children? And I'm going to add to that. When we say we're friends, I had a professor one time, case in point. She was very cool, easy to talk to. You know, I'm like, oh man, she's my friend. And I got real comfortable with her one day. Now, I'm in college at this point. And I'm like, oh, okay. But when I went to her office, she said, let me let you know something. And I said, yes, Dr. Harris. I was at Winston State University. Go Rams. And she said, I'm friendly, but I'm not your friend. She said, I don't invite you to the birthday party. I don't invite you to my anniversary. I don't invite you to my house. Not because I don't think you're a good girl, not because I don't think you're respectful, but because from where I stand, you're a child and we are not equals. But I'm always going to be friendly to you because I respect you and I see where you're going. But we are not, by any means, form, shape, or fashion of the word, friends. And it crushed me. I was like, yo, she mean. Until I started teaching and I noticed myself telling my students, you know what, I am friendly, but we are not friends. Because these children are children, and it's just being real with each other. Sometimes we're so lenient. We're so lenient on our children, meaning when we were raised up, our parents might yell at us. They might not. And I'm just speaking in general from the different places I've been, the families I've worked with, and my own experience. So it varies. Parents may or may not hit you with a hand or an object. Now, there is a line where there's abuse. You know, if you're getting punched and knocked out and choked and all these things and starved, that's abuse. We're not talking about abuse. We talk about basic, like you got a pop on the bottom. I know sometimes people got smacked in the mouth because you said the inappropriate thing, but you ain't get, like, continuously smacked and hit. But you might get popped. You might get told you can't have something. You might get told you can't go somewhere. You might get told to just be quiet. You know?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people now, they won't do any of those things. They just look and say, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I have parents who say they scared of their own children. And that leads to another question for the family circle, which is, and I'm going to reword it because it's come in so many different ways. But the gist of it is, it's 2017. It's the 21st century. Since the 1990s, things have changed drastically. It went from, if you're really being abused, call the police, to now children are told, if your parents do something you don't like, call DSS. So you have a lot of parents getting DSS called on them because they told their children, and I'm not making this up, told their children you had to go to bed before 2 o'clock. Told their children you got to write 100 sentences. Told their children you couldn't ride your bike. Yelled at their child in front of a friend. And the child was like, oh, that's abuse. That's mean. So they go back to the school or the counselor or wherever, and they exaggerate the situation a little bit just to get a little bit more empathy. They may add the words, I want to kill myself on it, because that's a trigger for people. Like, oh, something really must be going on. I want to run away. I don't feel love. My family is so mean to me. And they're just like, oh my God, what happened? Oh my goodness, like this is crazy. So as a parent, it's like, the question is, how do you discipline your children now when you have these type of things? And I always say, still do what you gonna do, but do what you gonna do at your home and in public. You still handle your children, and make sure that what you're doing is something that you would accept for yourself and somebody else's child. Like, I can discipline other people's children because they know if I gotta pop you or something or get loud, that I've already spoken to you multiple times. I've been told I talk to children so much that should be a TV show.
That's right. Yes.
But what do you think? What are some strategies that you would give? Like, I always say, take away a toy. Maybe not let them go to some type of friend's house for a while. And I believe talking to them really, really messes them up. Like the Cosby Show. They used to talk all the time. All the time. Them kids were like, please shut up. Please, God. I think they wanted a whooping. They ain't never get a whooping. They got everything but.
It's what it boils down to, because all kids are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And some kids, when it came to my children, I didn't have to discipline all of my children with physical all the time. So this is all kid. I think the main thing is parents need to teach their children what the word obey means. Even at a young age, I taught my kids what obey means. I made it very simple for them. And it goes like this. Do what you are told to do the first time.
Say that again.
Do what you are told to do the first time.
The first time, you all. The first time. Not the second time, not the third time. There can be a second and third time. We have to take authority as parents and as adults. We have responsibilities. We have obligations. We are not just managing their emotions. We're managing our emotions. We're managing their schedule and our schedule. We're managing their diet and our diet. Their appointments and our appointments. Their growth and our growth. Everything we do or don't do for ourselves, trust and believe that's what you're doing or not doing for your children.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so it's imperative that we definitely keep that in mind and be very, very, very mindful of that. How we treat ourselves is going to reflect in our children. I like what you said. You know, I'm raising one child. I have one child. So I don't have multiple children as far as saying from my womb to compare that to. I help raise my brother and some other children. I mentor women out here and men who have children and help with theirs. But I still feel like that's not the same thing. But you said you have multiple children and each child has a different personality. So very true. You know?
Yeah, because the way you raise your first child, and parents, I experienced it, the first child, with my first child, I didn't have to do a lot of physical discipline with him. Because he understood once he got the look, the most I had to do with him was maybe kind of grab him a little bit and shake him a little bit. That's my when he was like 5, 6 years old, and he understood that the next level was about to get serious. Now, his brother above him, now he tried me every step of the way, and he had to feel the full force of being disciplined, because he believed his boo didn't stink, and so he constantly pushed the envelope every chance he could. But now that he's 22, he always tell me, I'm glad you did what you did because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
That's real.
And that's what parents fail to realize. Parents are fighting so hard to have their child's approval that once they become an adult, they're rotten, they're spoiled, they're entitled, and they cannot handle the pressures of real life out here. And the only way to prepare that for them is in the home. You can't expect the schools to do it. You can't even expect the churches to do it, and you can't expect the communities to do it. You have to take the leadership role at your home to make sure your children are prepared to be successful and prepared to deal with the challenges that they will face, that they will go through once they step foot outside your door.
That's real. Now I want you all to understand, this is a real dialogue. This is a real conversation. Nobody's bashing anybody, but these are things that a lot of times we want to say to each other, or we have questions about, but we too scared to ask about it. You know, like before we go to this next break, I'm going to say it like this. I'm raising a boy. I do not have a phallus. I'm a woman. That is not the body part that God has put onto my body, okay? So I don't have that. I have a yoni. My son has a phallus. So when he had to potty train, and I didn't have any support systems. There was no man around. His dad was not in the picture. His uncle was off in college in the mountains, and he was a young boy at that time, so that's what it is. My family's small, right? So y'all imagine, I'm a nerd. I said, oh my God, I want him to know how to pee. I'm going to go buy a fake phallus that you can put a liquid in, and I'm going to stand, and I'm going to pee in front of him so he knows that he has to stand and pee. Now God bless me. Yeah, I was so serious though. I called like my mama. I called his godfather who was out of town, and I called like one more person and was like, "Yo, my best friend." I said, "This what I'm about to do." Everybody said, "No, please do not do that to that child. You will scar him. If he sees his mommy with a phallus standing up, he is gonna be scarred for life, Akila. Do not, please don't do that." And I was like, but no, how will he ever learn how to pee? I don't know if he'll learn, because I can't teach him. He can't sit down forever. And that was just so real for me. In that moment, he's 8 now. He knows how to pee. Now it's just more about proper aim. You know, it's a whole different issue. But he learned. And, right, I hear you laugh. It's okay, you can laugh. I let everybody laughing with me. Okay, y'all can laugh. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. But that's real. And as a parent, man, we got to be able to ask people questions and just be like, hey, this might sound crazy. It might sound really far-fetched, but check it. This is what I'm thinking I might do, because this is what I'm trying to figure out. And you'll be surprised how once you say it out loud, you yourself will say, hold up. Yeah, that does sound damaging. That might not be a real good idea. But in your head, when you by yourself, oh, what? It's the best. It's the greatest idea on earth. Like, woo! Ain't nobody gonna get this like me. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back with the Fearless Coach. Let you hear another track from Tice, because we just went in. We grown. We grown folks. We talking. We having a conversation. Your input is always welcome. Make sure you shoot some comments on the Facebook group, Grown Folks Talking Live with Dr. Faye. If you type in Grown Folks Talking Live in the Facebook, you'll find the group. You want to put something on my page, facebook.com/path2you, PATHTOYOU. And you can email if that's your thing. Email at AquilaFaye@gmail, AQUILLAFAYE@gmail.com. Shoot a text, 919-378-1691. It's a lot of ways to reach out, get your opinion put into the show, onto the show with your questions and everything, your comments, because you are valuable. You're adulting, you're parenting, you're balancing everything, man. We got to be able to talk. We have to start talking. The old people used to talk all the time. That's why we had to be quiet, so we could learn and gain wisdom. But right now, we're going to relax, give you a little bit more jazz, and we're going to be right back in about 5 minutes. Go ahead, get you something to drink, run to the bathroom real quick. Don't want you to miss out on anything. All right.
Grown folks talking, that's what we do. Grown folks talking in a room. Grown folks talking, no kids around. It's our time, it's about to go down. Real talk about what we want. Adulting and parenting, we got so much responsibility. It's all about you and me coming together, forming community. Grown folks talking, yeah. Grown folks talking. Grown folks talking. Live with Dr. Killer Faye. Call me Dr. Faye any day. I say hey, because that's the way we start the conversation. We start the revelation, getting solutions. Grown folks talking, yeah, yeah. Grown folks talking. Grown folks talking. What's on your mind? What's on your mind? Eh? Grown folks talking. Grown folks talking. Grown folks talking. Live with Dr. Faye. Hey, hey.
so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So our friend is still here, Mr. Muse. I know you know I can sing. That's our theme song right there. Grown folks talking. Yeah, it's the grown folks talking. That's what we doing.
That's right. See, you get around people who are looking to better their lives and live their lives to the highest ability that they can do. You find out they can sing. You find out they have all kinds of talent. So I'm just happy to be. I'm talking to a singer right now, a real singer, a soul singer.
Yeah, all day. That's one of the things I do for fun, for people. I get booked out for that. So that's one thing I always want parents to know, man. Like, before we were talking about what's the issues in the family circle, because people were asking those questions. But it's also, I'm big on solutions. And like I said, single parents, I used to use that phrase because I really, really was. Single parent is no resources, no support, or limited resources, limited support, like to the point it's really just you. There's no aunt, no cousin, no best friend, nobody. That's a single parent. Singular means one. It don't mean one and sometimes somebody else. That already makes two. Or 1.5, which still is not one. So I want us to go ahead.
You're right. Absolutely right. And so we change the narrative of how we view parenting. Because when you say you're a single parent, but that child has grandparents who drop that child off too.
Mm-hmm.
When that child has auntie and uncles that has other kids who they play with on a regular basis, when the parents themselves can even talk to those brothers and sisters, the parents and the aunt and uncles, and they giving you insight on how to deal with certain situations with your child. You're not alone. You have a support system.
Right. And that's the whole thing. That's one of the solutions to this parenting thing, this adulting thing, right? Recognizing and appreciating the supports that we have in our lives, not taking people for granted. You know, I've had friends who were like, oh, you got this, Akila, you doing it. Then they realize, hold up, Akila don't never have a break. Every time we talking to her, yes, every time they talk to Dr. Faye, my son is with me, and I love him. If I have to go do a booking at a speaking engagement, he's with me. If I do a training, unless he's in school or something, he's with me. If I go and I'm emceeing or hosting an event or singing, he's with me. Book signing, he with me. So the key word is he's with me. And so I have friends now who are like, you know what, I'll keep him one Friday a month so that you can at least get an evening to yourself. Even if it's just to go to sleep, go to the movies, whatever. It doesn't have to be a meeting. Because if I had a meeting or something, people would watch him, but that still was not time for me. And that's one thing that I work with people about is you have to have time for you. I'm not talking about time for your business, time for your networking, time for you to go help somebody else. Real time for you. Like I'll go, it's a place out here in Raleigh. I go literally in the middle of the lake. There's a big rock, and I'm a small woman. I lay on that rock, I meditate, and I'll take a nap. And that is one of the best things for me is to lay in the middle of the woods with water flowing around me on a rock with the sun beaming on my face or my back, depending on how I lay. And this is with no blanket, grounding myself literally into the earth and having that 45 minutes to an hour and a half meditating and literally going into such a deep meditation that I rest. And that's just for me. That doesn't involve anybody else. But on a simple level, I'll write, I do poetry, I make up songs, I dance, I love cooking. So knowing what makes you happy, Michael, what do you do just for you as a father?
What I do as a father, that's one thing I do when I was parenting by myself, and I didn't get a whole lot of help. But I definitely did have friends I reach out to who will give me advice on how to handle certain situations I came from. And that's the biggest aspect I believe parents need to realize is to be humble enough to reach out to other people and ask for advice. Because when you talk to 3-4 different parents about the same situation, I guarantee you will be able to formulate the best scenario to resolve what's going on with your child, because, as the word says, you can seek the advice of many counselors. And so once parents get to that point to realize, when it comes to raising a kid, there's no in all way all with children. Children have their own distinct personalities, their own way of thinking, their own way they view this world, how they view you, how they view people. So it's so critical that we get the help that we need, and we have that self-awareness as a parent to know that this is a true journey, and I buckle down right now and do what I'm supposed to do and sacrifice where I need to sacrifice now. So when they get older, everything that I'm sacrificing for now, I'll reap the benefit of it, because they'll be a productive citizen. They'll be law-abiding citizen. They will be successful in whatever industry or craft that they take part in. And when they do come across the bad times, I don't have to worry about them falling to pieces. I don't have to worry about them wanting to commit crime or do wrong or do bad, because I've set a structure and foundation that was so strong. When they get out there in real life, they're able to go back to that foundation from home, and they're able to take on the world. But when you get that sense of self-entitlement, and when you're spoiling, parents, you are hurting your children tremendously. Especially if you're a mother who is raising your son without a male figure around. To me, you are hurting your son.
And I'm going to add to that, I know a lot of fathers who are raising little girls as well. And I give thanks to the fathers who realize they don't know how to do hair, and they finally went to a beautician. So I'm going to give it out to the fathers raising girls as well. But yeah, as parents, if you don't have two people in the household, opposite gender, my grandfather always said, it takes a woman to teach a girl to be a woman, and a man to teach her to be a lady. It takes a man to teach a boy to be a man, but it takes a woman or a lady to teach him to be a gentleman. And so everybody has a role. The roles are different. One role is not more important than the other or lesser than the other. When you're doing it alone, it can feel like the other person doesn't matter. But one thing, that's why those breathing techniques and meditations and affirmations are so important, to keep your mind empowered, to keep your mind strengthened. And right now, I got a little surprise, you all. Like, check this out real quick.
This is Fearless Coaching Affirmations from the Fearless Coach Michael Muse. Want you to know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. In order to reach the benefits of the full potential, it's time to speak the words into existence that will stay in your subconscious the whole day. Repeat after me. I am adored.
I am adored.
I am alive.
I am alive.
I am amazing.
I am amazing.
I am appreciated.
I am appreciated.
I am appreciative.
I am appreciative.
I am awesome.
I am awesome.
I am blissful.
I am blissful.
I am bold.
I am bold.
I am brilliant.
I am brilliant.
I am calm.
I am calm.
I am cheerful.
I am cheerful.
I am cherished.
I am cherished. I am. Affirming self. Fearless Coach. What's that?
Yeah. Absolutely. That is so crucial to a person, especially in parenting. A parent needs to be rejuvenated. They need to speak words of life to themselves. They need to know that child is going to be up to become an example of them, and that they need to constantly make sure that positivity is always flowing. Because when that positivity is constantly flowing, constantly affirming, that is what's going to be part of the building blocks to make sure that child grows up to realize all the greatness that child has inside them.
Yes, we do. And you see, you all, he omitted it. That's him right there. That's one of his affirmations that he's using to help other people in his business. I want the Fearless Coach to give you all his contact info in case you want to have a further conversation with him. Maybe the way he said something resonated with you. I believe in balance. I've worked with people. I have clients. A lot of my stuff is speaking and training. Group sessions are preferred for me. The coach, he does variety of things as well and has books. So, Coach, can you give them how they can reach you, please, real quick?
The first way to reach me is at michaelmusenow.com. That is michaelmusenow.com. And you can also reach me on Facebook, facebook.com/Michael Muse Now. And you can also reach me on Twitter, Michael Muse Now, and Instagram at Michael Muse Now.
Awesome. So you all got that. He's consistent. Consistency. As parents, I'm going to be real. Consistency is always, I think, a challenge. What I've learned, consistency is being comfortable with change and being able to have tools in place that make change consistently comfortable, to where a challenge isn't a challenge. It's just something that hasn't found a solution yet. To where a bad day goes away because you realize every day you're alive and can make a choice, it's still a good day. And finding that peace within yourselves, you all. My name's Dr. Aquila Faye. That's spelled ACQUILLAFAYE. I'm going to be honest, and I say this in all humility. You can Google me and you will find everything from YouTube to Instagram to LinkedIn to Twitter, ACQUILLAFAYE. That's how you can find me. I want y'all to hear this meditation. You can get all 14 downloads on EasyAsPie.shop, and that's SHOPPE.com. My books are there, and so is this download. I'm just going to let you hear a sample.
Prayer through meditation for peace. Creator of all, thank you for this day and the moments that have been presented in my life as an opportunity for growth and insight. Each experience is presented in my life to help me understand more about myself and the world which I currently exist. Help me to gain whatever it is you may have for me to be a better person through these trying times. I release confusion, frustration, anger, bitterness, and a hard heart that has arisen in me against those who I feel have wronged me. I embrace peace, calmness, and serenity, all wrapped in divine love and wisdom. Thank you for the peace that is given me in the midst of the storm. Thank you for the ability to maintain patience and compassion in my actions towards others despite unpleasant situations. Thank you for allowing my mind, spirit, and body to be freed of negative thoughts, attachments, and aches, and pouring into me a peace and clarity that increases my focus, resilience, and energy to benefit the greater good through my daily actions. I embrace peace at this moment. I wrap myself in tender love and peace at this moment. I give thanks for peace being with me, filling me, and surrounding me at all times. Thank you for the peace.
That's from Letters of Devotion, Prayers Through Meditation. A way to find the words when sometimes it's hard to find the words. A way to de-stress from a world that fills us with a lot of chaos and a lot of music that is messing up our vibration and causing us to disconnect from the one true source and ourselves. A way for us to come back to a space within our own mind, body, spirit, and souls to where we can see the world clearly and function better as parents. Our children are not just the ones who come from our loins or our womb. Our children are all the little people that we see in this world. Our children or even the adults who we know lack wisdom and understanding. Our children, there's a child inside of each of us that still needs to be nurtured, that is still craving for that same love. And as we learn how to give that love to ourselves, it is my true belief and my true knowledge that that same love, that divine love, that's not always gentle and is sometimes firm, but is always done from a place of good and benefit and upliftment, will matriculate like a ripple in the water when you throw a rock into it, out into the world, going through the streams, into the ocean, going back into the clouds and coming back as a joyous rainbow for everyone to rejoice. We got to get this, parents. We got to get this, adults. It starts with us. My friend, Michael Muse, you still with us?
Absolutely.
Awesome. We have a few minutes left with the people. It's been I want to say, first off, thank you so much for coming on. I truly appreciate, honor you, and adore you as a man, as a father, as a coach, as an author, for sharing your time with us. I know you're traveling. You're based up in Michigan, but you travel across the nation. So I appreciate you having time to come and join us on today and making time out your schedule to share a father's perspective, because our men are important. And if you can, I hope you can make it to the men's conference October 16th in Raleigh, North Carolina. It'll be from 2 to 5. I know you said you might not be able to, but I'm going to still put it out there. You never know what can happen.
That's right. That's right. You never know. And, I'm so excited about being a guest on your show, because it's so important that when it comes to being a parent, when it comes to rearing children, that the narrative is seen from both sides. It's important that a child's life is balanced, that they see the narrative from the female's perspective and they see it from the male's perspective. And so that is so crucial in moving forward and setting that example and setting that foundation. Because when that foundation is set, that child can go out and accomplish anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you, I appreciate you, Dr. Faye. You are fantastic. You are phenomenal. And I know you are encouraging and inspiring women all over the world. So it's truly a blessing to be on your show.
Thank you. Blessings and peace to you. And you all give it up for the men. And give it up for the women, the mothers, the fathers, those stepping in as mothers and fathers and role models. We all we got. We're all we have, you all. And yes, I said we all we got. But we are all that each other has. And so it's important that we value that relationship. You all, every Monday at 3 p.m., you can catch me live with Grown Folks Talking with Dr. Faye. The link will always be out. Make sure you go to the Facebook group, Grown Folks Talking Live with Dr. Faye. We're here on speaker, and we're all over the world. Looking forward to talking to you all again later. We're going to go out with words of encouragement, peace, love, blessings, and may the light of God continue to shine over your life and your children, and may you be protected in your going, your coming, your resting, and your rising. Ashe.
Words of encouragement. These are phrases from my heart to yours. From Akila Faye, transformation expert, empowerment speaker, mother, educator, woman, human. These are 9 phrases that you can play over. You can put on a note card. You can post them in your car, on a mirror, or you can just put this track on repeat. You can even play it in your sleep. May you be encouraged, uplifted, and know that I love you. Know that you are loved, and everyone in your life will not see your value yet, as you accept that you are loved and you know your value. Others will have to respect you and treat you in a manner that is acceptable towards you. The pains from the past will impact the present until you give yourself the gift of forgiveness. Healing starts with forgiveness, which leads to freedom that releases the fear that forms from the suffering you have endured. Be at peace. You rose to see another day. Therefore, everything is well and you are blessed. Be grateful.